friends, I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to do what I usually do every year, and that is every time there's a new year, I like to do an easy everyday makeup tutorial, kind of inspired by the vibe that I'm having going into the new year. So for 2025, you guys, honestly, I'm really hoping to just simplify, and this is not just for makeup, this is just for my life in general. And also, I'm really hoping to just stick to what works. I feel like I often fall into the trap of the grass is greener, especially when it comes to products. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, like the new foundation is going to make me feel better than my current favorite or will be better. And while it's so fun to try out makeup, I feel like for this year, I'm really trying to like slow down, scale down, and just stick to what works. I feel like when I do that, not just for makeup, but for every category in life, I feel so much more peaceful and I feel like I have more time and space for other things. So let's just get right into it. Since I'm wanting to simplify things, I'm not going to do a primer today. I'm just going to go straight into a skin tint. That's my vibe I feel for every day, and I'm going to stick with something that I know works, which is this. It's the L'Oreal True Match, let's see, Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. I wear the shade 0.5 to 2. The only thing, and you guys know I don't love about this, is the packaging. I feel like it just gets so messy, which is not the vibe for 2025, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and since I already did my skincare, I feel like my base is ready to go. You could always assess your own skin situation, add more moisturizer, add a toner and a moisturizer, whatever it is that you feel your skin needs. What I love about the skin tint is, first of all, I feel like the shade match is so great. Second of all, I feel like the coverage is really, really nice, especially for every day. It's not going to make you look too over the top. It's going to suit any sort of occasion or situation because you can also build up the coverage if you want to. It's such a good product. Okay, I'm just going to press that in with my sponge. I'm not looking for heaps of coverage for this specific product. I can always add coverage with concealer. It's a lot harder to remove coverage. So we're starting with a nice, even, light layer of the skin tint. And then what I know works for me right now is the Too Faced Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick. What I'm really enjoying about this is it's a cream bronzer, but even after I use setting powder, it doesn't like fade, like the color doesn't fade. I'm saying that because sometimes when I use a cream, I feel like I always have to add a powder on later, but for this product, I feel like the pigment is there enough to where it still shows up even after powder. So, and also it blends itself out like a dream. It's such a good formula and it smells like chocolate. So I'm just gonna take this off the back of my hand, and I always like to kind of work this into the complexion with a brush first before concealer, because then I can kind of clean up the edges with concealer afterwards and not be too worried about where my bronzer placement is. I also always love to kind of get it into the hairline so that it looks super natural. I feel like that's also what I'm going for this year with makeup, is just making it look natural, you know, especially in an everyday routine. So hopefully you can see how that nicely warmed up the skin, but the color is perfect for me. It warms things up, it sculpts my face, but it's not too much. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into my concealer, and what I know works is the Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer. This is my current favorite. I feel like I don't need maybe 2 shades today, so I'm gonna go with my lighter shade called 20B Light Beige. And I'm gonna kind of go for a less is more approach. I say kind of because I still do like a little bit to sculpt things. I'm not gonna do anything on the forehead though. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with a brush first. And you can see how it kind of reverse contours and creates a little bit more structure underneath the contour. Versus doing your contour after, I feel like I accidentally lose some of that shape that I'm trying to create, if that makes sense. Also, new year, new blemish. I'm not really sure if I can fully cover that one up today, but that's okay. I'm just gonna use this to brighten up the under eyes as well. And I'm gonna take what's left on the brush and kind of even out the eyelid too. Also, do you know what I've been into the past few days? Call me crazy, but I'm loving straight hair. This takes me back to my high school days, okay? But here's the thing. I've noticed with my hair type that straight hair helps my hair not get so tangled throughout the day. I actually have quite a bit of a natural curl. Ever since I had my baby, actually, my hair texture's changed and it's got like a little bit of a curl and a wave in the back, but then the front's pretty straight, and I grew up with very straight hair. But lately I've been wearing my hair straight and I've just noticed it stays so much more smooth, it feels or healthier to me. and it doesn't get tangled because my hair gets so tangled. So anyway, 2025, you might be seeing me wear straight hair a little bit more often because I'm currently very into it. All right, we're gonna go into powder. And for me, you guys already know what works for me, the Huda Beauty powder. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's one of those situations, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and take this with a Huda Beauty little puff, and I'm going to press this underneath the eyes. You could use like a little brush if you want to. I find that a puff is actually quickest for me in an everyday situation, especially since I'm somebody who knows I like a good smoothing powder. No matter what makeup I'm wearing, I always have to have a powder. So for me, I like to just kind of like go in straight with a puff and press it underneath the eyes and in the T-zone. For the sides of the face, I'm not so worried, especially since I'm not going to be wearing like a powder bronzer or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap that powder into the center of the skin. Now I want to use my RAVIE Beauty Endless Diffusion Baked Blush in the shade Paradise. This is something that I know works, and it's also my go-to for every day. I feel like it never fails me, and also I love the tone and undertone on me. So it actually acts as a little bit of a bronzer. It definitely leans more blush than bronzer, but there is that toasty color swirled throughout that gives you a little bit of a bronzing warmth to the skin. So I like to add this to kind of like the hairline, almost the temples, and then I bring it toward the apples of the cheeks, but I focus a lot of it right here. I also like to pop some kind of in the crease of the eye, and this is why I wait to do my eyebrows, because I'm always like fluffing product through the brows a little bit. I like to do some across the nose, and I always take what's left and just apply a bit to the center of the forehead and even on the chin, just for like an all-over glow and healthy color. All right, for brows, we're gonna go ahead and use a tried and true for me. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I wear the shade 4. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the brows. All right, now that my brows are on, I am going to do a little bit of eyeshadow. I don't feel like I want to do anything crazy, especially for every day. But going back to like stick to what works, I'd recently posted a video where I talked about the color theory analysis that I got done in Korea, and it kind of tied into how I did my makeup. I'll link that video down below for you guys, but I've been trying to kind of stick to that a little bit more. Although I love having fun with different colors of makeup, for every day, if you kind of figure out what colors work for you and stick to that, that's a really easy way to streamline your look and create kind of a signature look that you know is going to flatter you no matter what. And you can always bump it up for evening, but you can have the same type of tones that you use during the daytime that you kind of move into evening if you want to. So I'm taking this NATASHA DENONA palette. I'm going into Mesh. This is the I Need a Nude palette. I feel like this is a perfect shade for me for all over the lid for every day. It gives a little hint of color, but it's not like a full-on eyeshadow, you know what I mean? I'm gonna pinch that same color and go along the lower lash line. And honestly, I almost feel like that's enough for this scenario. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just stop there. I've also been really loving lately this eyeliner from Sephora. It's their 12-hour colorful crayon, and it's in the shade Flirting Game. It's the prettiest, soft kind of gray taupe. I actually wore this in that color analysis video, and I surprised myself with how beautiful it was, and I've been wearing it ever since. So I like to add just a little bit on the outer edge of the eye. I guess you could say I do a little bit of a baby wing, but it's not obvious. Then we're gonna do a little bit of mascara. And for me, something that I know works and holds up is the L'Oreal Panorama Mascara. So I'm gonna just use a bit of this today. Something about me. I know there's like a trend. I don't know if it's a trend really right now, but there was a trend where people were wearing like less mascara. And you know, I think it works for some people. I just love mascara so much. So I'm still into a little bit more of a, you know, bold lash. But I guess for today we can kind of do a little less than I usually do, just to see how it looks. I guess if you're into like that softer lash look too, but you don't want to skip mascara, you could always opt for like a brown mascara, and that'll give you a very similar effect. For me, I feel like lips is what really brings the whole look together. I do feel like I might add a little more blush at the end of this, but we'll see. I'm wanting to use my Pillow Talk Fair lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury because I just know this works and I know that the color works well for me too. This is a great one for every day if you have more fair skin and you want a lip liner that doesn't look so lip linery. This one's so pretty. I'm looking for my Effortless lips in Dahlia. I'm gonna go get a brand new one because I think I have them all in my purses right now. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Let me tell you why Effortless Lips in Dahlia works. First of all, I created my dream everyday lip formula, and that's what this is. So obviously it's gonna work for me every day because it's what I was hoping for, dreaming of, and what I felt was missing in my everyday lip stash. And Dahlia is the color that was inspired by my natural lip color. So that's why I feel like for me, this is the most foolproof lip color. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a nice coat of that. You can really build this up if you want. Oh, I love this one so much. I feel like I've been wearing Lily a lot lately because Dahlia was always like my OG favorite. So it's been a while, but gosh, I feel like I'm gonna start reaching for that again. Now that I've got a lippy on, I do feel like I could use a little more blush. This is just how I am. So I'm just gonna pop a bit of that same blush in Paradise onto my cheeks. And this is a little trick I always love to do. I'll take a little bit of my blush and throw some of that into the crease of the eye. I know we kind of did this before, but this kind of adds a little more back into the eye, just so that everything looks extra cohesive. Okay, we're gonna assess the situation, adding a little more bronzer with what's left on the brush. And now I'm gonna stick to what I know works when it comes to setting spray, and that is my Cali Ray Surf Proof setting spray. What I love about this is it's not too drying, and it's also not too hydrating. It's right in the middle, which is why it's like my go-to for every day, and it has been for years now. I'm gonna go ahead and spritz the face with this. Also, it's so travel friendly because the packaging is not super tall, so I love that. I'm just gonna press things in with my sponge. And then I personally cannot live without a brow gel, so I'm gonna go in with my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter to set the brows. Okay, so here is the final look. This is my easy everyday 2025 inspired makeup look. I really just stuck to what I know I love. I also stuck to what I know is flattering for me. That is my vibe for this year, especially being a busy mom. I think it's just important to kind of know what works for you and stick to it. And as fun as it is to try new things, I think it's also really confidence boosting, I guess, to really narrow down an everyday routine that you know suits you with products that you know that work. You know what I mean? If that means digging into your current stash, so be it. And I think that's what all of us should do actually, is just kind of rummage through what you've got and maybe remind yourself of some things that you used to love that maybe you stopped using because something more trendy popped up. I don't know. I feel like that's my vibe this year, is just to be a little more aware of the trends. And as much as I love trends, guys, I love makeup so much, obviously. This is my whole life. But I feel like I'm at an age too where I'm really learning what works for me with my makeup, with my hair, with my fashion also. There's always trends that come and go. But the most important thing at the end of the day is to make sure you're sticking to what you love, what you know works, and what makes you feel like your best self. So those are my 2 cents going into this year. I hope you guys love this tutorial. Let me know in the comments down below if there's a certain vibe or aesthetic or certain products or routine that you know you're gonna be sticking to in 2025. I also wanna hear some of your New Year's resolutions. Like, what are you guys working toward? I feel like I didn't really do a full-on resolution. I kind of just stuck to a Pinterest like mood board, and my mood board is very like chill this year. I want to know what you guys are hoping to achieve this year, what you're hoping to feel this year. Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my easy everyday 2025 look. I hope it inspired you. If you recreate it in any way, tag me. I would love to see that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and after you subscribe, be sure to click on the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me. And that's it. I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Okay, love you. Bye.